Everybody, you know what? I'm gonna wait a minute before I start because I've been told that when I start talking, people don't hear me or they come in a little late. So I'm just gonna give it a minute and let people come in the chat. But while I'm waiting, how's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing today? How's everybody doing today? Guys, this is Calibrate Tools DIY, guys. I am broadcasting from another location. I'm out of town. As you can tell, I hope you like the background. It's not, not my regular background because, like I said, I'm out of town. So hopefully it's pleasing to the eye. I'm gonna get on here and tonight and just, kind of give a little mindset talk um, and see where we are uh, as far as our goals and, taking the time to really take an inventory of where we are and where we want to go. All right, guys. And that's what this live is going to be about. The title of it is "You Determine Your Fate," and I mean, that's just a fancy way of saying, you know, um, whatever happens in your life, it's usually because of the choices you've made, right? It's because of the choices you've made. If you want success and you want to achieve certain things in life, you know, you gotta make certain choices. Life is just a matter of choices, guys. Okay. Very good life notes. How you doing? Glad to see you in here tonight. Perigirl Life Notes is usually there all the time. I appreciate you, Perigirl Life Notes, for coming in and supporting. Come on in the chat, guys. Say hi. Um, yeah, looks cheerful. What's that? Oh, you talking about the background that I mentioned? Yeah, it's a decent background. I like the picture frame in the back. I was gonna slap one of those backgrounds that I usually put up on there, but it was gonna peek through, and I didn't have to, I didn't have the tech savvy to figure all that out. So I figured I'll just use what I have, and I like it. It'll do for the night. But yeah, guys, you determine your fate. Okay, you determine your fate. It's all about choices. I made a choice to put a suit and a dress shirt on tonight and come in front of you guys with this on tonight. All right. And I made it happen. Well, it's the same thing with anything you want in life. Certain things take longer, right? Certain things take longer than others. But if you put one step in front of the other every day, right? You get up every day and you take, I don't care how small the step may seem, but you take that step towards your goal, you will eventually get there. You will eventually get there. Very good. I received my tool. Thank you for sending so quickly. Yeah. Uh, no problem, Perry Life Notes. When you order from us, we ship it out right away. It's not going to have you waiting forever for your tool unless it's if something's going on in logistics, right? Where it slows things down. Once the order comes in, we get it out to you right away. Okay. By the way, guys, this live, as always, is sponsored by Calibrate.com. You see it right there. Go check it out. Okay, we got some great tools on there for you to help support the channel. Great gift items for you and your loved ones. Okay, so go check out Calibrate.com when you get time and grab something. We got some good stuff on there, guys. So yeah, guys. You don't have to be confused about life. Life is not that confusing. Like I said, it's just a matter of decisions. And if you look back on your life, if you look where you are right now, guess what? You are there because of a series of decisions that were made 2 days ago, three days ago, 4 months ago, a year ago, 5, 10, 20 years ago, right? Wherever you are, you had a hand in that. You were the master of your destiny to get you where you are right now. Okay. Now, if you become more conscious of your choices, you control where you're going to end up. Simple as that. Right. Most people think that, hey, I'm not the master of my destiny. Um, just blown like a leaf in the wind by by life. And that's not the way it's meant to be. Us as human beings were meant to control, right? To manifest what we dream of, or what our goals, our visions. If you don't have a vision, you're like a boat on the ocean, just being blown to and fro by the winds. You have no direction. Okay, I get on these lives because I'm setting the sails of my boat. I'm setting the sails of my boat in the direction I want to travel. Right. If you don't have that, um, you can't expect anything out of life. Right. Things going to happen to you, and most of the time, it's not going to be what you like. It's not going to be what you want to happen. Right. Because you have no direction. When you have a direction, you have a vision, things are going to happen, but that vision will keep you on track. Right. It will protect you from just being blown to and fro. And especially you young people out there, right, that don't necessarily know what they want to do. Pick something. Right. Pick something, because that thing is going to be like an anchor to keep you focused, right, from being pulled in every direction. Right. And you don't want that. You don't want that. Okay. So that's what this is about, guys. That's what this is about tonight. I want to give you one of the reasons I'm talking about this, guys, is because I'm out of town. I'm at a conference, and a lot of the discussion at the conference is about mindset. Yeah, it's about mindset. It's a business conference, um, but it's when you think about it, it's about mindset and relationships. That's what it comes down to, right? It comes down to the type of friends you hang out with, people you associate with, all those things. The things you indulge in. All those things determine where you're going to be, right? If you choose a certain crowd to hang out with, and they're not really going anywhere, then guess what? Most likely you're not going to go anywhere, right? It's just as simple as that. So you determine where you're going to go. So guys, come on in the chat, say hi. Don't let Perry Girl Life Notes be the only one in here. you know, Perry Girl Life Notes is she's been a ride or die, and I appreciate that. But I know there's more of you out here watching, listening, and you guys in the replay. Hey, leave something in the comments. Tell me what you think about this. Okay, not necessarily talking about tools and all that. I like to mix the lives up. The long form videos talking about tools, DIY, trade skills, promoting all that. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to reach those who want to change, And I'm deeply involved in a lot of young people's lives because I'm involved in a trade school, and I see the ones that are there. They made a decision, right? They made a decision to change their life and pick up a skill. And I've seen their lives change in a matter of months. Okay, coming from one place in their life and just sticking it out, staying focused, and catapulting their lives to the next level. I mean, anybody can do that, right? You can do it. Anybody can do it. You just have to put your mind to it and stay focused. And it's not going to happen overnight, right? There's a lot of things. Sometimes, I even look within myself. There's a lot of, I don't know. I don't want to say the word garbage I got to get out of myself in order to move to the next level, but that's what's necessary, right? When you're cleaning a house, you got to take out the trash, man. You got to take out the trash, because what happens if you don't take the trash out? Your house is going to stink. Your house is going to stink. Bugs are going to, roaches, all kinds of things are going to start making a home in your house because you haven't cleaned out the trash, right? You haven't taken it out. You haven't done those things. Well, it's the same thing in life, right? If you don't take out the trash in your life, whatever that may be, it may be, I don't want to call people trash, but certain behaviors from people or certain behaviors from yourself, guess what? It's going to stifle you. It's going to stifle you, and you can't move forward, right? A lot of times we're comfortable in those things because that's the thing. We get comfortable. We don't want to change, but change is necessary. Change is very necessary in order for us to move forward, right? If you don't change, you're like I'll give an analogy for that. a body of water. It could be a puddle of water. If it sits there long enough, it's going to starts to stagnate. You're going to have mosquitoes laying eggs in it. You're going to have frogs, mating in it. It's gonna start to stink. All kinds of things. Mosquitoes. That's what happens when the water is sitting still. But when the water is flowing, it's fresher, right? It's fresher. Perigolife. Self-examination is important, but it has to be a balance. Yeah. And I'll talk more about that balance, Perigo. Yeah. You don't want to be overly critical of yourself. I get it. You want to examine yourself, and you don't want to be overly critical, because that could hurt that you can hurt yourself doing that as well, being overly judgmental about yourself and about others. Because if you're overly judgmental about yourself, most likely you're overly judgmental about others, right? We all have our hangups. We all have our things that we need to need to work on. But the point is, you're taking an inventory of those things, right? You're not just blowing through life, not looking at them, right? Change is necessary to grow. Absolutely. Now, this may seem like a I don't want to say corny analogy, but we all like caterpillars, right? Caterpillars are little fuzzy little things crawling around, but at some point that caterpillar, there's something in the DNA of a caterpillar that says, no, this is only the stage. This is only a stage right here, right? And if it stays in that caterpillar stage, it's going to die. It's going to die, right? So when it stops, being a caterpillar, it goes into a cocoon, and a transformation happens. We don't know how nature works in that way, but a transformation happens, and at some point that caterpillar turns into something else, transforms into something else that doesn't crawl on the ground, but actually can fly above the ground. It sprouts wings, and we call those things butterflies. And it goes through a metamorphosis in that cocoon, right? Well, if we look at our life, and let's just say we look back on our life and we're still in the same position that we were in, I don't know, a year, 5, 10 years ago, we're still in that same position, then something happened. We got stifled. There's no growth there. So let's say, don't want to put yourself out. Yeah, absolutely, Perigolife. No, you don't want to do that. You want to like I said, you don't want to be overly judgmental, but you also have to understand, as a human being, your goal is to transform into something greater than what you are right now. Changes the I don't know. I would say the lifeblood of everything, of the universe, right? Everything is changing constantly, and if you don't change, if you don't grow, then you can't really be at peace. You can't really be at peace, right? And everybody wants that. Okay. So, like I said, with myself, I have to do that every now and then. I have to take inventory of where I am in life, my relationships, and all of that, and see if it's productive. If a relationship that you're in is not productive, then you may want to look twice at it. It could be a husband, a wife, a friend. It could be, it could be a child, and that's kind of hard when you have to, your own child is not growing at the pace you would like them to grow. But it happens in life. These are some of the hard truths that we have to face. But, at the end of the day, we have to make hard decisions. Sometimes we have to cut ties and move on in order to fly, right? Sometimes you got to cut that rope in order for you to rise, right? So, yeah, this is just a little, I don't know, I guess you call it motivational mindset rant I'm giving tonight, but I hope you get something out of it. You know what I mean? Hope everybody's having a happy Valentine's Day, and all of that, and maybe it'll, after all the fuzzy feelings go away, you're gonna look at that person that you're dealing with and say, okay, are we growing together? Are we progressing? Very important. Very important, guys. Okay. And not just look at it from a mindset level, look at it from all kinds of levels, guys. The most practical levels you can look at life, from your financial situation to your health situation. Because if you don't have your health, you have nothing. I don't care how much money that you if you don't have it, if you don't have a health, who cares, right? Right. So your health is your greatest asset, right? Because that's without that you have nothing else. Not just your physical health, your mental health. Sometimes you got to take a break. Sometimes, right? You don't have to be a hero, right? Trying to impress people that don't care about you at all. All right, because at the end of the day, most people care about themselves. They can care less about you, right? Now, a lot of times when people are, if you take notice of you, a lot of times it's in a negative way. I hate to say it, but that's human nature, right? It's human nature to criticize, to judge, and not look at ourselves. And if you're basing your life on the approval of another human being, you're going down a very dangerous path, because the the essence, the nature of the human ego is to judge, right? You is to never be satisfied. You can be doing all things right for but for some reason, people want to tear you down, right? People want to tear you down. So you shouldn't base your life, your goals, your vision on impressing others. You should base it on, you know, wanting to grow, wanting to serve others, um, and that's what you should base your goals on, right? You shouldn't base it on money, even though we all need money, right? But money is a byproduct. Money is a byproduct of service, right? It shouldn't be seen as the end all be all, because what happens if you lose all of it? Then you lose your identity. If your identity is wrapped up in that stuff, then, you know, like I said, that's a dangerous path, because anything can be snatched away at any time, right? So, what should you base your identity on? What should you base it on? Can somebody tell me? Very good, Lighthouse. You used today as a planning meeting where you are going as a couple. Yeah, yeah, guys. If you have a significant other in your life, or even a friend or something like that, you want to. It should be someone you can talk about the future with, in terms of your own goals, their goals, um, how you guys can work together, and stuff like that, right? How you can serve your community, right? You know what I'm saying? So you shouldn't base it on Happy Valentine's Day to you, and to you too, DIY Tools. Yeah, happy Valentine's Day to you too, Perry Girl. Appreciate that. Even though I'm not really you know, an occasion type of person, I appreciate the gesture. Um, but yeah, a lot of us are walking around here, and we have a skewed sense of reality, right? We're following the wrong things for the wrong reasons. All right, guys. Um, our identity is wrapped up in something that is external, right? Something that's finite, that's gonna, doesn't last, it doesn't really give true peace. Um, and it's not that they don't have their uses in life. Money has its use. I mean, you have to live, you have to survive, you want to enjoy life, and it takes money to do that. But at the end of the day, it's not based on that. It's based on relationships, right? But if you want to go a step further, even a relationship with something that's beyond the human form, right? Some people call it God, some people call it, depends on what you call it, right? That's eternal. You want to base your life on eternal, something that's eternal, something that won't go away, right? And everything else should be a byproduct of your relationship with that. If your relationship is based on something eternal, then everything you do, right? Everything you do changes, right? Your actions have a different motivation behind it, right? You're not selling a product to get money. You're selling a product to serve the customer, right? So everything changes there, right? So that's how you want to approach life, and that's how, at least that's the way I like to see it. Because if I'm chasing after the ephemeral things of life, the fleeting things of life, um, then what's the point? When it goes away, I have no peace. Then I have to chase it again. Right? I have to chase it again. And let's give an analogy as far as like economics. They say, okay, that currency is not backed by anything. Sometimes they talk about the American dollar is not backed by anything, right? It's based on the confidence of individuals. And what if that confidence goes away? Then it's not worth anything, right? Because the confidence of man is it could last a while, but then if it goes away, if people no longer have confidence in the American dollar, then the American dollar isn't worth anything, right? As opposed to when it's backed by something that's real, something that's considered real, then it has a stronger weight to it, has more weight to it when it's backed by something real, right? And that's what your motives should be, backed by something real. Your actions should be backed by something real, and serving others, that's real, right? It doesn't take anything to have a spirit of service, where you want to help people, right? That's just in you. That's free. Develop a spirit of service, and that's where peace is. That's where peace lies. Okay, because you can pull from that. You can pull from that anytime you want to, and never run out. Right? You could be the poorest man on earth, poorest man, poorest woman, and have a spirit of service. You're wealthy. I don't care if you have nothing, right? In terms of finances or resources, but if you have that spirit of service, you're automatically wealthy, because that comes from an eternal source. It comes from a spirit of giving. If you have a spirit of getting, you're always in a state of lack, because you're always looking to get, right? You're always looking to acquire. And when you run out of that thing, you got to go chase it again. And then the hard, think of someone's trying to hard sell you on something, right? Right? Trying to just. But if you have a spirit of giving, that doesn't take anything out of you. Yeah, absolutely. The spirit of service, yes. So that takes nothing. That anybody can have a spirit of service. That's where the true riches lie. Calibrate.com, Calibrate Tools and DIY. I operate out of a spirit of service. Yes, I'm in business, and when you're talking about you're in business, yeah, making money is part of that, right? But that's not my ultimate motive. My ultimate motive is to serve you with the information, the education, and the actual physical products, to help you, right? To help you in your DIY projects, and things like that, your home improvement projects, and all of that. And I love what I do. I love teaching you guys, and I also love learning from everybody as well. So it's not just a one-sided thing here. Very good line. Spirit of service brings in wealth, which includes money. Yes, absolutely. Like I said, money, what we call money, currency, is a byproduct of that. If you approach life with the spirit of service, the byproduct of that, if you're in business, is to make money. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that, because you can keep your enterprise alive in order to keep serving. If you don't, if there's no money being transacted here, then how are you going to keep that entity that serves others alive? It just wouldn't make sense, right? It just wouldn't make sense. So don't be mad at the salesman, okay? Because they're actually serving you, and not only that, it's if you're in business, it's your obligation to offer your products, your wares to your audience, to the public, right? It's your obligation. It's your obligation to serve. So don't feel bad about that. There's also a spirit of poverty, which is not a good one. Nobody says you had to be poor, but you do have to offer value. You shouldn't just stick your hand out and say, give me, give me, give me. At least offer something of value. That's how the world works. That's how, even if you look at science, if you look at nature, that's how it works. It's a give and take. It's a give and take. And I tend to look at life as even business. I look at it as I don't want to use this word's been kind of overused, but I look at business as part of that whole process of give and take that the universe just nature reflects, right? And it's nothing wrong with that, guys. So yeah, um, if you're trying, if you're chasing after wealth, if you're chasing after for the wrong reasons with the wrong spirit behind it, then there's something called cause and effect, the law of cause and effect. Um, the universe will recognize that spirit, that energy that you're putting out there, that the getting, right? And you may get something, but it won't be eternal, because what you're not coming from a level, you're not coming from an abundance. And I know this sounds, you've heard it before. You're not coming from an abundance mindset. You already have what you need, right? You already have what you need inside you, but in order for you to see it manifest in your life, you have to have a spirit of service, right? That's what's going to make it lasting. And that's what's going to make it worth it all. The fact that you want to serve others in a business capacity, it's nothing wrong with that, right? But if you have a spirit of oh, I gotta get from them. Oh, they better buy from me, or this or that. I gotta make so much money. You may get that money, but you may end up doing desperate things or unethical things just to get it, because the very nature of that getting energies, getting spirit, is a level of lack. It's the opposite of abundance, right? It's the opposite of abundance. So you will, reap what you sow in so many ways. You may get it for a while, but once it's gone, hey, Lit Fit, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Money is currency, just like electrical currency. It's a form of energy transfer. I like that. I like your analogy there. Perfect. It's a physical reflection of or what should be an eternal energy transfer. Absolutely. Yeah. Very good analogy, Lit Fit. Money, these physical things here, I got this phone right here. Everything's energy. Even me, if you're looking at me and you see a physical form, I'm just it's like a fingerprint, right? But it's just energy, right? It's all energy. Everything's energy. Even the hardest substance on earth is it's just energy vibrating at a certain frequency, right? And our thoughts, believe it or not, our thoughts, I'm messing my words up here. Our thoughts are real energy, right? They're real. I would say that our thoughts are more real than this phone, because it's the thought, the ability to manifest a vision in the non-physical realm, and then have it translated into this three-dimensional physical world that we live in. That's it, man. That's it. And the more you can control your thoughts, the more you can focus on the vision, right? That's when this thing's going to manifest. And I'm just using this as a phone as an example, but anything you want in life, whether it's money, whether it's good relationships, but you have to do certain things, right? You have to do certain things. Lit Fit, the consciousness is the only real existence. Absolutely. Everything is consciousness. This right here. All of this. And what he said ties back into the title of the video. You determine your fate, because your consciousness determines where you are right now, right? Your ability to make choices, to say yes or no, that's a godlike quality right there. That's a godlike quality. Your ability to say yes or no. Everything that you said yes to is the reason that where you are right now. Everything you said no to is the reason that why you don't have that, whatever you desire. Yeah. And so people think they're victims of life. And I get it. I'm not saying that, I've heard it a lot that, say, stop playing the victim. I don't necessarily buy that, because sometimes you are, you are a victim of circumstance, right? Like you may be born into a certain area, or someone may do something to a so-called innocent person that they didn't, we can't, that person didn't do anything, right? But where I do agree that you're not a victim is how you respond to whatever happened, It's how you respond to it. Okay. And nobody's going to come into this life and experience an easy road. Some may seem like they're experiencing an easier road because they, but everybody, I don't care who it is, has their challenges. Very good. Like that. Learning is also a form of undeniable wealth. Yeah, absolutely. And those challenges are opportunities, like Perigood Lichno says, to learn, right? To learn. And actually, if you think about it, that's actually good. It's actually good because how else would you grow if you don't learn? You have to take the hard knocks of life. When a boxer jumps into a ring, all right, you can't call yourself a real boxer if you've never been in the ring. I'll just put it like that, right? You got to take some hits. You could have been training all day at the gym for years, but if you never stepped into a ring in a real fight, then are you really a boxer? Are you really a boxer? Are you really a fighter? Because when you step into the ring and you can't predict what's going to happen, right? That's the real test right there, right? You can't predict if you're going to be able to take those blows to the head or to the side or something like that. You can't predict what that other fighter is going to do, and it's kind of like life, right? But you go into the ring long enough, you'll learn, right? You learn how to maneuver, how to respond, and then that sixth sense of knowing that he's going to swing this way, right? So you get better as you go. Right? You get better every time you step into the ring. That's very important. That's why it's very important never to give up. It's always you get knocked down to the mat, get back up, keep getting back up, and keep swinging because you learn every time you get knocked down, right? What's that? People at some point have to take responsibility in order to gain control of your vessel. Yeah, it all comes down to that. You got to take responsibility, man. The minute you start taking responsibility, right, for how you respond, not necessarily what happens to you, right? Because I hear that a lot. People say, you need to take responsibility for what happened to me. Well, sometimes things happen to you and it's not your fault. If somebody robs you at gunpoint, should you take responsibility for that? But no, not necessarily. That's that person. He did that or she did that, right? Whatever. But what you should take responsibilities for is how you react to that, right? That's what that means. Take responsibility for your response to life, right? And the more you take responsibility, the more you understand the importance of preparation. So when you walk out your door every day, things can happen. You're not just walking out there thinking, "Oh, life is, rosy." Things happen. Terrible things happen all the time. But it's your responsibility to prepare yourself and prepare your loved ones for life, whatever that means. Okay. Absolutely, gaining control is key to unlock your transformation. Yeah. At the end of the day, guys, it's about transformation. It's about transformation. Transformation in your life, transformation in your business, right? Everything, just if you look at life as a combination lock, every situation, every desire, I should say, that you have for yourself, every goal that you have for yourself, is like a combination lock. And sometimes you're one number away from opening the lock. But a lot of times we give up because you keep turning and that doesn't work. Oh, you keep turning, that doesn't work, and you just give up, right? That's the test right there. Because there's a law out there, just like any law of physics or anything like that, any scientific law out there. There is higher laws at work, right? There are higher laws at work that are just as real, probably even more real, okay, than any physical law you can study in school. And one of those laws is the more you focus on something, it has to manifest. Matter of fact, most people do it anyway, unconsciously. They're manifesting things all day long. Okay, I'll put it like this, guys. We're manifesting everything we want in life. We're manifesting right now, even though we say we don't want it. Live fit. Don't let what happens on the outside of your ship affect negative what happens to the inside of your ship. Yeah, absolutely. That's a good analogy. Again, Live Fit. Think of a ship on the ocean, right? If that ship is built strong, it doesn't matter how many waves batter the ship, right? Everything on the inside will stay safe. If it's built strong and it's being what's that word? If the sailor of the ship, which is your ship, the sailor of that ship knows what he's doing. He can maneuver through the most the oceans of life, the wildest oceans of life, the most roughest oceans of life. If that ship is built strong enough, right? And get you to the next side, get you to the shore. Claudette McCoy. Hey, Claudette, how you doing? Mistakes do help you learn. Absolutely, Claudette. Matter of fact, you could even say, you can even take the word mistakes out of there, right? I mean, what's life without so-called mistakes? I think life would be pretty boring. You can't grow. You cannot grow without so-called mistakes. I like to learn. Yeah, there it is. Live Fit, the captain. That's the captain of the ship. You are the captain of your own ship. Okay. But yes, mistakes help you to learn. I liken it to going into a gym. Going into a gym as a skinny little whatever. And you hit those, you hit that gym, you hit those weights, right? Without those weights resisting you, you cannot build muscle. And the science of building muscle is to tear down the muscle fibers. And the only way you can tear down the muscle fibers is by resistance, by lifting weight, by heavy weight. Tears down the muscle fibers. And most of the growth happens actually when you sleep, right? So going to the gym is actually a process of tearing down your body, right? So the body can get used to that resistance and adapt to it and build bigger, stronger muscles. So you can handle more weight, right? So if, the stronger you get, the more weight you can handle. It's the same thing with life. You come into this world and you pretty much walking into the gym and you have to hit those weights, man. But the thing about life, you can walk into a gym here and just start talking with your friends and all that stuff and not even lift a single weight. You come there to waste time, you're playing around. It's like a social place for you to go. But in life, it's not like that. You walk into life, especially in business, you're going to get hit with those weights, whether you like it or not. And those weights could be anything, any kind of resistance. It could be somebody coming in the comments of your YouTube video and calling you a racist name or whatever, or just saying you're ugly or whatever. You know what I mean? It could be anything. How are you going to handle that? Is your ego strong enough to handle that? Adversity fuels evolution. Absolutely. That's the fuel. That's the fuel. So when you understand that life is not meant to be easy, so-called easy, you don't want it to be easy. You want to grow stronger to be able to handle it. That's the whole point, right? So when things hit you from the back in the back of the head, the girlfriend left you, your wife wants a divorce, or husband wants a divorce, or whatever, your kid dies. I hate to, I don't want to be so morbid, but these things happen. This is real life. And at the end of the day, it's all a test. It's all a test to make you stronger. Why? You say, okay, why do I have to be stronger? Not only stronger to handle this life, period, but also stronger. It's preparing you to be able to help the next person who's not as strong. And that's what, at the end of the day, that's what it's about. It's preparing you to help the next person who's not as strong, because it's not about us. It's not about you or me, right? It's about the whole, right? And when you start thinking on a level of, and you're taking yourself out of the equation and seeing yourself as just a tool of service in this whole scheme of things, then you're starting to get it. Then you're starting to get it, right? Then you're starting to see all the negative things that happen to you in life. All the things that messed you up happen for a reason, right? You're starting to see the big picture now. Now you can help the person who was going through the same thing. Because if I can't help somebody who went through something I never went through. I can't really help them like that, right? I may say, oh no, it's gonna be all right, just pray and all that stuff. But I can't really connect to them on like if it hasn't something to that degree hasn't happened to me yet, because so that's why things happen to you, man. It's not happening to you; it's happening for you. You start thinking, okay, it happened for me. I don't understand it. It hurt, messed me up. It caused me to go this path in my life and get in more trouble, and that messed me up and all that. But then I woke up at some point and I said, okay, I see, I get it now. It's not about me, right? The choices I made, yeah, they weren't necessarily the wisest choices, but even in the most messed up choices you can make in your life, they can be used for good, right? There's value in everything, even in the most negative thing. What we see is the most negative thing. Don't ask for life, live fit. Don't ask for life to be easier, but ask for the strength to overcome. Absolutely. You got to live fit, man. You got it. Ask for the strength to overcome. And you want to be stronger. It's kind of like wealthy kids that were born into wealth and they never had to struggle in their life. They never had to get a job. They never had to, they wanted for nothing, right? And then when the real world hits them, right, they don't know how to handle it because they weren't prepared. They weren't prepared. They have everything that they could possibly want in terms of material things. But sometimes they don't have it. You think they have everything, but they may not have the love of a parent, right? Because the parent was working all the time or something like that. And they have that void in them. And because the parent was never there for them, they go out there and try to fill that. They try to fill that emptiness that they have. So, you never know what somebody's been through. I don't care what they seem to have materially. Right. So they don't escape it either. They got their own challenges, right? Yeah. So at the end of the day, it's all about perspective. Your perspective on life, how you view things, how you view the things that have happened to you, why it happened, and connect the dots as to why you made the choices you made, and why you are where you are today. That's a godlike quality to have that bird's eye view of your life. I don't know if animals can do that, right? Animals run off of instinct, right? So, but the godlike quality of a human being is to be able to sit still in the midst of the storm of your life, whatever's going on. Sit still in the midst of the storm and actually find peace, right? And actually be able to leave your body in a sense and look down on your own life, or just and look at everything and say and connect the dots and make sense of it. Can animals do that? I don't know. I don't think so. But you have that ability, and from that you can make choices. Oh, I want to go this way. I want to go that way. Okay. If you're conscious, then you're going to make the right choices, right? But most of us are unconscious. We're making choices. We're actually manifesting. We're manifesting all the time, even if we don't know it, right? And so we can't necessarily blame anybody but ourselves for not being where we want to be. You could be wherever you want to be. Just take control of your choices. That's it. It's not hard. You can have as much money as you want. You can have the person of your dreams or whatever. You can have all that. It's just the choices you make. It's the people you surround yourself with, right? Sometimes it's better just to be by yourself, just to focus yourself, center yourself, and not because people can be distractions, man. Especially the wrong people. They can be the wrong distractions. And if you're trying to get somewhere, sometimes it's best to go alone for a little while until you find your team, find like-minded people, I'm at this conference now because I want to be around like-minded people. Okay. And to go where I want to go. Right. So you have to do the same thing in your life. All right. And it's out there, man. It's out there. It's out there. Whatever you're seeking, it's out there. You'll get it, whatever it is, negative or positive. Usually, if you don't have a sense of direction, most of the time it's going to end up negative. But once you wake up and understand, hey, listen, I'm the master of my destiny here. No matter what happens, it's how I respond, and guarantee you'll get where you want to go if you stay focused. But you can't give up. Anyway, guys, appreciate you listening to this little mindset talk tonight. Appreciate thanks for the super chat, super sticker. I'm sorry, Perry Girl. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. Thanks for the support, guys. Don't forget to go to calibrate.com, support the channel. We got some great products on there. I'm constantly expanding the product line, all about home improvement tools, DIY. That's what I'm about, guys. I think tools, why I like tools so much, tools are like an extension of your mind, right? It's an extension of you, right? And they can do things that you can't. Like if I want to hit a nail in the wall, I'm not going to use my fist, but if I can use a hammer as an extension and hit the nail in the wall, right? It's an extension of you, and it's the perfect example of manifesting something physical to get something done in the physical world, and you can do that. Thank you for sharing with us. Yeah, absolutely. I hope you guys got something out of this. Perry Girl Life Notes, Live Fit, Claudette. I appreciate everybody coming on. You guys in the replay as well. Hope you got something out of it. Check out calibrate.com. Go grab some products. And I appreciate you guys, and have a good night. Take care.